Hi everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today we're going to work on some butterflies. I have been making a lot of butterflies lately, and I'm trying to get some prepped. I have another box full of butterflies and dragonflies and all kinds of things, but today I specifically want to create a couple of these black and white butterflies. These are some of the ones that I've made already, and I've got two different styles here, and I want to show you guys on this style. I've got one on a piece over here that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to do one like this, except it will be a double one like this, only the bigger size, this size. And these I've already cut and glued them together back and front. You guys have seen me do that. So these are great for the hangers that I make for the car. So these are two already glued together so that we don't have to go through that process. And I do have videos where I show that process. So you can go back. Oh, actually this is a triple one. Yay! So it'll be like this butterfly here. Aren't they beautiful, you guys? I love things in black and white. I just do. And then here, this is one of this style here. And I used it on one of my refrigerator magnets that I have in my shop. And it is super beautiful. I didn't make this one in my last video when I made these, and it wasn't made yet, but I did put, I don't remember if I put pictures at the end of the video or not of this one, but I'm going to show it to you today. So this is the finished magnet that I made. Is it not beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love these magnets so much, and I actually love painting over them and creating my own visions on them. And this, I used those stickers that I showed you in my magnet video. So these are the black and white flowers, and so I thought, why not make a black and white one and put a black and white butterfly on there. And look at how beautiful that butterfly is, you guys. I love it. I debated on whether I wanted to use this butterfly or one of these, and I just kind of felt like this one meshed with this a little bit better than this one did. This one was kind of dark, and so, but I will be probably making one, yeah, using one of those butterflies as well. So I've got a whole bunch of these magnets. Some of them I'll be using the original imagery that's on them, that comes with them, and some I will be painting and putting my stickers or decals on. So I have to get more paint in order to do that because I am out of paint at this point. And I've also been making some little bumblebees. Look at this bumblebee, you guys. It's super cute. And the thing I liked about this particular image is it came with a drawing line around the outside of the bee so that you could follow that and just have the white edges. And to me, it looks very, very clean. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I did make this one. And then I had also made this one, which I used in one of my magnets as well. And I think I may have shown this one in my video because this was the magnet that I made that I had accidentally pulled some of the paint off up in here. And the bumblebee is what covered that paint. Isn't that beautiful? I love, love, love this bumblebee. And I love, love, love this one. So I will be making more of these two style bumblebees. And as soon as I get some made, I will get some in my shop as well. I've got so much that I'm working on right now. I'm still trying to get all of the magnets done for Gwen. I've been working on them, but it's a bit time consuming with getting all of the rhinestones around the magnets and all that stuff. It's very, very time consuming. So I've got a lot of them to make. But I will be getting those done shortly and getting those off to their new home. This is one that I made that is these black and white ones, only it's only a double butterfly, not a triple. And is this not gorgeous, you guys? And this is in my shop. This is a mirror hanger. And again, it's done on both sides, both layers. Isn't that beautiful? It just turned out gorgeous, you guys. I love the black and white. And you can put this, you know, kind of with any purse if you want to. It does have the pink rhinestones and the pink and white flowers, but I just think it's gorgeous. And look at, with the rhinestones in here, it just looks beautiful. I didn't overpower it with a whole bunch of flowers. I just used the smaller ones. And I had just gotten these little roses from Robin, and I wanted to use a couple of those in this because I thought they actually went absolutely perfect. So I made this one, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making one like this, only of course it'll have different a different hanging piece in the middle. I only had that one, and that was from something that Debbie over at Bird's Place had sent me a long time ago, and I've been holding it and holding it, waiting for the right thing to use it on. Well, I had used the center piece in it a little while back in a project, and I thought, wow, this kind of goes perfect on this, and I used what was left of it, and it was actually perfect. I've got these that my friend Susie sent me, and so I'm going to be using these today, probably both of them, I'm not sure. I think I have some lighter pink ones as well, and I was kind of looking for those before I got started and didn't get around to actually finding those particular ones. See, I've got a bunch in this color, so that's very cool. Y'all know how much I love my pink. And let's see, I'm just going to look real quick. I've got my rhinestones that we will be using. I've got these. And actually, I have this too, which would be pretty. I'd have to cut it sort of in half, but that would be a pretty piece to use on one of these as well. So I'm going to keep that out just in case. And I think I may have used all of the light pink dangles that she sent me. There weren't quite as many of those as there were the other ones, so I think I used them up, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking right now for another of my strings of rhinestones, and I'm not seeing it. Oh, here. Because I do want to use pieces from this as well, because it's got some good chunky pieces here. And I did use one of these in the first one that I showed you. In this one, I used one of these. I used a piece of this, and I used one of these. So, and they actually worked out perfectly because they're smaller bits. And so it worked out really nicely for me in that first one. And then I have these rhinestones too that Gwen sent me. And these are dangle rhinestones, super pretty. And I'm going to be using these in at least one of them. So I've got lots of stuff to work with here. And I've got my torch. I've got my resin. This is the BS resin, UV resin. And I'm loving this resin, you guys. I'm going to put a link for that in the description menu. And let's see. Let me show you. This one I actually made a while back, and it's not two-sided. This is one that I would just use like maybe on the top of a box or something. I made this one yesterday, and it is double-sided. Super pretty. And I made this one yesterday. Same thing. I'm trying to make most of my butterflies double-sided now. Now these two they're actually pink white and black. And I don't know if you can see, the pink is just right there in the center, just barely visible. So those are super pretty. And then this is one that kind of gives me more of a Native American feel. And I love it so much. I have to find the perfect thing to put that one in. And then we've got some of these blue ones that I made. This one, which I made actually a little while back. Super duper pretty. These are so gorgeous, you guys. And then I've got this one, which is it says faith in the middle of the cross here. I've got some in different colors in these, and I just think they are gorgeous. This is also double-sided, and you can kind of see the faith in the middle of that a little easier on the back side. But I'm going to be doing something with that. I used one of my other ones that I made on something else. And then bumblebees. These are my bumblebees. And I think I just showed you this already, but I just have to show you again because they're so pretty. So these are the ones that I have already finished, and we're going to put those aside so that we have space to work here. Okay. And put these kind of up here. These are the tops that we will be using. And actually, I need to do this part before we even get started. On these little corner pieces, they have little holes in them. And what I do, because these are aluminum, I take, and not the first hole, but the second hole, I take my little round pliers and I just stretch out that second hole a little bit so that my ball chain will fit in there easily and has some movement space. So this just kind of rounds out that circle. It's not perfectly round, so this will round it out so that the balls can drop right through it, and I don't have any issues. And I like doing this before I make the butterflies, but I don't always think to do that. And then if you have any bending or anything that takes place on these, no big deal. They bend right back into place and you can straighten them right out. Okay, so there's those. We're going to leave this here, and we don't need these two. All right, you guys, let's get going. So I guess what we'll do is we'll start with the big one first. Get out our resin. I've got my lamp over here ready to go. And what we're going to do now, when we double the butterflies, it works a lot better because they're stiffer, and it's not as easy for the resin to shrink up and make these curl. I figured that out. That's one good thing about doubling them up. Not to mention, it's just beautiful to have them visibly pretty on all sides. Because that way, if you're going to hang this on your car mirror, which we all have stuff hanging on our car mirrors in California. It's always been a thing since I was in high school. Everybody had them. So I know a lot of states don't allow it, and it's really not allowed in California either, but I hang them on mine anyway. I always have, and I've never been asked to take them down. I won't say I've never gotten a speeding ticket, because I have, but it's been many, many, many moons ago. So that's why I'm saying, what I started to say, the reason that that's so great is that I can do the entire top of the big butterfly in the first pass. We're going to torch it, pop any bubbles that are in here. This resin is amazing for keeping bubbles away. I just have to do that little tiny torch and it's going to be all set. Now this one is the middle butterfly, and I'm going to only do the sides, the wings on this one. Don't get the resin in the middle section. You want to keep it away from there, because we're going to have to be able to bend this one into shape once we're ready to put the three together. So that's why you don't want to get the resin in the middle. So be mindful of that when you're putting the resin on these wings, that you're not getting it so close to the middle that it's going to drain into that section, because you know resin will move. You don't want it to get drained into that section and then prevent you from being able to bend it later in the process. So okay, so we've got that one. Going to pop that under our lamp, and we put these under the lamp for a good 3 minutes usually. I'm going to pop you guys down a little closer now. Maybe not that close. Whoops, now I went too far back. Okay, right about there, I think that should be good. And now we've got our little tiny butterfly. Be extra careful with this one because you don't have as much space to watch out for. So just take it close to the middle, but not to the middle. And I think I forgot to torch that middle one, but that's okay. This resin has been wonderful for not creating many bubbles anyway, but I like to torch it just in case. And since this is going to be the top one, I just put a tiny little torch on that and we're good to go. And we might as well start working on these as well. Actually, first I'm going to take, oh my goodness, look what I did. I cracked it. I just cracked a little bit of the resin on the outside. So we're going to take this. The paper part of it didn't break. So we're going to take this and we are going to re-resin this wing. I can't even see the crack in there. So this will cover that crack up. And this resin, when it hardens, and it is a hard resin, what they call a hard resin. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to place it back under the light and let it do its thing. And here's my middle one, and you can see I can bend it in the middle, but I got to take it over, flip it over, and I'm going to do the back side. Again, missing the middle section. We don't want to touch that because we still have to do the bend. So just, I know it's easy to forget sometimes, especially me, because I forget things really easy. But try not to forget that you don't want to hit the middle with this resin at this point of the game. So, and you guys, you can just put like a dot of resin and then brush it across the wings. You might want a thinner layer of resin. I like mine to be a little bit thicker. And I've just learned to do this and not have too much trouble with a lot of dripping over the edge. So it makes it a little easier for me. Just that little tiny bit of heat. Now we will take our teeny tiny one. And again, it will bend in the middle. So we didn't get the resin in there. So now hopefully we can do the same thing on the back side. And I did find out, I bought myself some nail polish remover the other day. I don't use a lot of nail polish remover because I don't paint my nails. I just do these little fakey nails. But I bought some and I washed this brush out with it yesterday, and all I had to do was just put a little bit of nail polish remover on it and brush it around in the sink. and wash it off, and it took all of the resin off of my brush. I was so excited that it worked that well. Okay, here's our big butterfly again. Now we're just going to flip it over because I'm not going to try and bend it again. I am going to try and get to the middle just a tad. And we're going to do the back side now. We wasted a tiny bit of time doing that, but that's okay. It's in perfect shape, you guys. There's nothing wrong with this butterfly, even though I did that little snap. It just snapped. Again, it just snapped the resin because I tried too hard to bend it. I got a little heavy-handed. And I snapped it. I see a little spot here that I missed. Okay, so let's get this side and the middle, because on the bottom one you can do the middle too. And you can see this stayed pretty darn flat through the first lamp curing. So it stayed pretty flat and it looks amazing. And then later I'll decide which side I'm going to use as the front and which side I'm going to use as the back. Okay, so now these are done. Let's see, which do I want the front? I think I'll go with that for the front. And that for the front. And now I'm going to start putting the resin on these two beauties. Hope everybody's doing well. I want to ask you guys too, while I'm not too far into the video, please make sure if you enjoy this video that you give it a thumbs up. And make a comment, let me know what you think, and let me know what you guys would like to see me make either again or something new or something that you think would be pretty resined like this. I did take someone's advice and make some birds, and I made those plant sticks with them. That video was very well received. So I was super excited about that, and it took me so long to get to it, and I don't know why. I just kept having creative blocks as to what I wanted to do, and I just couldn't get myself to it. So, okay, so there's that side, and again, this is just a double butterfly, so we only need to do 2 of them. Trying to remember to check, and don't get to the middle on this middle piece. Don't forget, you don't want to hit the middle. You don't want this resin to run together in the middle at all from the 2 sides, because then you're kind of toast. You almost have to make another one, because you'll never get those wings to bend. You saw the other ones snap. You'll never get them to bend. This resin is a very hard resin, and you'll see when you look at the different types of resins, some of them say hard resin and some of them don't. This is a hard resin, and you know that when you make something with this resin, it's going to cure very, very hard, like hard plastic. You can see, let's see. So yeah, it cures very, very hard and very, very beautiful. Look at these. The shine that I'm getting from this resin is incredible. I just love it. Don't feel like I even need any diamond dust on these. Okay, and here's our beautiful big butterfly. And now I'm going to take this one And I'm going to do the back side. While it's still warm, I'm trying to bend it up just a little bit. You want to do that when it's still warm, and really what you should try to do is while it's under there curing and before it goes too far into the process, look at it, see if it's bending at all, and grab it out of there carefully so you don't put fingerprints all over it, and just try to bend it just a little bit back up and take out the curl. It's super easy to do, especially when it's still a bit soft before that curing has completed its process. So super easy to do. But I have to say, I think this is one of the hardest resins, not hard as in difficult, but the hardest resins that I've worked with. And I can start touching this so much quicker than a lot of my other ones and don't get any fingerprints on it. So that's for me, that's a great sign that it's going to do good things. I want to make sure that these get done really well. Whoopsies. Okay, leave it alone, Carol. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to slide these over to one side a little bit, and we're going to start working on this one, getting it done. And look at how easy this is, you guys. Oh, first things first, we need to bend them. So we're going to take this one, we're going to just put a little resin in the middle there so that it goes into the middle and onto both sides just a little bit. I'm going to bend it like this. And since this is the middle one, I don't want to bend it very much, so I'm just putting a small bend in it, and I'll show you once I pull it out of the lamp how much bend I've got in this one. It's very, very slight, and I'm holding it up in that position for just about 30 seconds, just so that it can start to cure, and then I can let go of it, and then this little tiny one is going to get a bigger bend. So on this one, we're going to bend those wings up really well because we don't want the wings to touch the middle ones. We don't want them to be like stuck together. We want to see the difference in the flight pattern of those wings. So I'm holding this one together for just a minute. And since these are double-sided, you get, you can see the inside of the, the bottom part of the wings, and it looks really, really pretty. Okay, so this one looks pretty good. Pretty amazing, actually. And then here's our middle one. Right here, and it's done only on one side, so I got to do the back side of this one. I was thinking I had done both sides of this one already. Glad I checked. You can always do it on the back end if you forget. You can always do it on the back end, but it's just not as easy because you kind of have to hold it under the lamp for a little bit so that the resin doesn't run and get all over the place, because the wings are bent, and so the resin will run if the wings are bent, and it'll start to run off of the wings. Okay, so I got this one, no resin in the middle, so we're good there. And we have these wings, so you can see on these, see the difference in the bend? This one's just got a very slight bend. This one's got a nice deep bend. And then all we're going to do is we're going to put resin on this one. I'm going to put it under the lamp, and I'm going to hold this one on there so that the resin that leaks out at the top and bottom here, and maybe inside just a little bit at first, when you set it under the lamp, it's not going to get to the inside real well. I have to put it under the lamp a little differently for that. But as long as I've got some resin poking out on the body, you know, up towards the top and the bottom, the lamp is going to catch that and it's going to hold it in place. So now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put this one in there and I'm going to hold it right on top of it for a few seconds just to get that resin to start to cure and hold it down. But you got to do this part fast. So, and you have to be looking at it so that you get it straight on there, you guys. I have put more than one crooked butterfly on top of another one. Trust me on that. And I'm pulling it out. I'm going to look at it before it gets hard. And it is straight, so I'm going to let it sit there for just a minute. And I'm going to let it get nice and cured, but I'm not that worried that it gets completely cured right now because I'm going to be putting it back under there when I put this one on top, and then the whole thing will get a chance to cure together. And I'm not worrying about getting the center of the bottom of these butterflies because they're going to get resin when I place them. So this one needs to be bent. So I'm just going to put my resin in the middle there. And I'm going to bend it. And this one I can give a good bend to because I don't have a third butterfly going on top of it. So I want to get a nice good bend on this one. So I'm holding it, holding it, holding it. And that should be good. And now I'm going to pull this one out. And see the process, if you do kind of an assembly line thing, the process isn't so bad. Okay, and this one I kind of need to get a little more resin kind of coming up on those wings because we don't have the body touching this one. So I want to make sure I have some resin somewhere on there that's going to cure and hold it down. Now the tiny ones are hard to hold down. I'm just going to tell you that right now. They're a little harder to hold down because you have to get them in place and they're so tiny that they don't want to sit still. And they start to slide around at first until you get it in there. I've got it on there and see it still moves just a little bit. That's so I can adjust it if I need to right now before that resin cures. And there we go. Now we can put this one on top of this one. Make sure I want this to be the top. No, I think I want this to be the top piece. And this one has to be the top piece. And we spread our resin down the body a little bit. And I'm going to pop it under my lamp and hold that butterfly down on top. And I try to get my fingers out of the way so that the light can get in through the wings a little bit. I'm not always super successful at that because I'm trying so hard to hold it into place. My sausage fingers just don't let the light in. Okay, so we've got that one. And yes, we can put it back under the light and let it finish curing. Okay, this, I think I am gonna snip this. I hate to do it, but I'm going to, because by doing this, I'm getting two projects in one, or two pieces in one. It's just not easy to snip them without breaking possibly a rhinestone or two. It's not easy, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And this one, I'm just finding a spot where I've got more of a small piece to snip at a time. Not that I can snip And these are my broken nippers too, you guys. The nose is broken on them. I think I told you guys that that's what seems to happen to these smaller nippers, is that the noses break. I had it happen to another pair. Actually, the other pair was just like these. That happened to. I love these ones because I like the small nippers. I prefer the small nippers, honestly, because the big ones, they won't get into as tight places, and they're harder for me to work with my hands. I've got tiny hands and they don't get in there. So now I've got these two pieces that are beautiful, and we've got two butterflies that are beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. So let's see if one of these will look good on the butterfly. I'm just going to play around with it a little bit. Let me snip that piece off. I don't want that there. I feel like it should go sort of this way instead of the other way. Well, just to kind of have those leaves kind of sticking out there. I think that looks very pretty. And then I could even take and, let's see, let's snip a couple of these pieces off of here. This is a small piece of rhinestone chain that I have here. There's not a lot on it, so I'm only going to have very few pieces that I can use in my projects. So I usually try to be very careful, but it's got like those pieces and then 3 of the perfume bottles. I call them perfume bottles because they look like perfume bottles. And the perfume bottles, I'm having a hard time finding a space to use those in, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to figure it out. I was thinking maybe if I got some of the teeny tiny tins that I get sometimes, they're like super small, like the size of this, and do something with those, with the perfume bottle ones, and I think they would be so pretty. And I think they would work on that because they're tiny little bottles and tiny little tins. So look at, I only have these, well, I have these round ones too. I hadn't thought about using those. So we've got, they're just a little plainer than the other ones. So I've got that. Those, and I have one more round one here. There we go, and there we go. I wonder if this would be better on this butterfly. I want to see. Oh, actually that looks really pretty in that butterfly. It shows up a lot better. That one's a little bigger. I'm not thrilled, but actually see, that one will work a little bit better in this butterfly. Yeah, for sure. But I'm trying to just do like the gems and stuff on one side, and for this one, I don't know, these are kind of big. I'm not loving that. And then maybe what I do, I can't do that. I can't snip the top off that, but I can get a rhinestone from somewhere else. There's one hanging off of this piece. I can take one of those. Although it's a teeny tiny rhinestone. I was thinking about using one of these, the smaller size for the bodies. I'm not sure if I want to or not, but I'm going to look at it and see if I want to do that on one or both of them. I think it would be best on this one because it feels like it has a better space for it. That looks really pretty there. This one I'm not sure because it's got that tiny butterfly on top, and I'm not sure if this will just take up too much space. Yeah, I don't like it on that one at all. Or what I can do is take my other rhinestones. Let's see, my rhinestone chain. Oh, I do want to cut a couple pieces off of this for sure. And what I might do is I might just use that black piece on one of these and then do the other one different. I'm not sure. I just feel like these actually do work really well on these. But these are small, these rhinestones here. And I think these might work really well. Just to kind of pop them in there like that. Because I do like that sparkle that you get from those. And this one, this tiny rhinestone, I'm going to use it on this butterfly. Just that one little tiny rhinestone right in the middle there. And right now, what I'm going to do, I really like this one just like that. And if I use this one, I think what I might do is move that up there and then take, because I really, really, really want to use some of this chain. And I was thinking what I was planning on doing is, come on, putting a piece down here like this and having it hang down, and that looks really pretty on this one. So we're going to cut this right here, and that piece is going to go with that one for sure. Now for this one, I can move these up slightly, and this, and I can kind of do the same thing, maybe use a smaller section. Yes, we are going to do that. These are going to be some very sparkly little mirror hangers, and we all know that looks beautiful in the sunshine. When you have a nice sunny day and you pop it onto your rearview mirror, and it moves around when you move around, and then it sparkles and catches the sunlight, and everybody says, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And then you're going to tell them you got it at Refunction Crafts on Etsy. Oh my goodness, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I hope you guys will go over and check out my Etsy shop. I got a lot of really cool stuff that I just put in there. I put in a bunch of my magnets. I'm going to be putting in some of these butterflies and some other stuff. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on in my Etsy shop right now. Maybe these on this one. No, I don't want it to go on top. I don't think that looks good at all. So this one, put one there. Whoops. I want to get it placed just right. Maybe it should go that way. Yes. I want to get it placed so I can just run my resin over it That is so gorgeous, you guys. So anyway, I can run my resin over what's in there now and then go from there and put these other pieces on. And those look incredible. But I'm not going to pick them up and move them right now, you guys, because if I do that, I'm going to end up having everything fall off. Well, I take that back. I am going to pick them up very, very, very gently, only enough to move them on top of this silicone pad, just like that. So pretty. Oh my goodness, so pretty. All right, and then this one. There we go. All right, so I've got these on here. I've got them placed exactly the way I want them. This one, I feel like I could actually add one more piece of, those are just too thick. One more piece of rhinestone. I don't think I'm going to go with the pink on these either. I think I just have decided that I'm going to keep these more black and white, and the best way to do that is to just use the silver bits. And I think I'm going to pop that one in there, just like that. There we go. Oh, I don't want it to come down too low. I just realized we still have that other piece that needs to go in there. So I'm going to move it up just like that. And that's basically how I did the other one, only I only used one piece of that rhinestone. There, that's how I want it. I couldn't get that one turned just the right way. There. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my resin and very gently I'm going to just let it drop in a couple of spots, and I just flipped that rhinestone. That'll be good enough. And I'm going to drop some rhinestone in a few spaces under this. Just going to let it kind of run down. Just like that. And then we got to get over here. And right over here, gonna get a little bit out that way, and let it drop right there. And then this one, we don't want to wait too long because we don't want this resin getting all over the place and making a mess. Okay, and pop that aside, and I want to move this because I feel, okay, no, it didn't get on the mat. Okay, very good. And I didn't put a rhinestone in the middle here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And here's our lamp. We're going to just pop it over the top. And I'm going to let those go for about 5 minutes, guys. Okay, so we've got those on there, and I did actually add this one rhinestone to the middle of the lighter one, just so that it would be, the top would be ready to go. Whoopsies. And I'm going to get you so you can't see it, and it's all out of focus. Look at those. Aren't they gorgeous, you guys? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so next I would like to add a couple of flowers, maybe, maybe not. And I do love these little white flowers, so I don't know about that one. That one might be too big. I'll grab 2 of those just in case. But I do love these little white flowers because they are kind of the perfect size. And I have some teeny tinier ones too, but I really liked the way these looked in the other butterfly, although I may not love them in this. So it's just never, you never know. Maybe I can even put them in a different spot. See, that kind of takes up a lot of space on that little butterfly. Even on this one, I feel like it might be too much. Now, if I had left the rhinestone out, it might have been better. But see, the other thing with these flowers is that they're kind of deep. So they sit very tall, and I just don't like that. I don't think that looks good at all. So we're not going to play around with those today. Might have been pretty with just maybe one little flower in the middle like that, or let's see what this looks like over here. I mean, it looks pretty in there, but it almost looks out of place, doesn't it? I just feel like it's kind of out of place on there. Yeah, we're not going to go with those today. No flowers. But we're going to add our other rhinestones here. So we'll just place those where we want them on both of these butterflies. Make sure we get them in the right spots here. Just like that. And again, we're going to drizzle some of our resin just sort of inside there. Just where that top little rhinestone is. And that one. Okay, and hopefully the lamp will find them. We'll find the resin. And let's make sure they're in place. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to pop our lamp back on there. And I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so these are all resined. Everything is stuck down the way it's supposed to be. And we are ready to put our backs on there. So these will go like this, like this. So they will look like that. This one, I want to make sure that they are equal on both sides. Kind of about like that. Like that. Okay. And then the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take and I'm going to drop a drop of resin right there on the top of each one of these. And I think that should hold it just well enough so that I can then flip them over and resin the back sides. And as long as this is touching the butterflies, it should be just fine. Hopefully it is touching. I feel like it's not on this one, but I think that might be an illusion. So I don't want to put too much resin on there and then have it all spilling over. Now there's might be a little bit of overspill on there. I'm not sure, but I'll be able to get that off of there if I need to. I don't think it did, but it may have. And we're just going to put it under there for a short time, and then we will flip them over. Okay. So, let's see how we did. That one's stuck, and that one's stuck. Yay! And now we're going to flip them over, just like this. And we're going to put resin just kind of on the back side. Right there. Get it through that little hole right there a little bit. And all along the edge that's touching. And right there. And this one has a decent hole there. And I can put the resin all along that top corner. Might as well get both sides of it. And pop this lamp on there right quick. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got those resined on very well. There we go. Whoops. I forget, I've got this a little closer up than usual. So there's the back side. There's the front side. And now the only thing we have left to do is to put our ball chain on there, on each one. So I'm going to cut probably about, probably about 6 inches of ball chain for each one. I mean, it doesn't, you guys can make these shorter or longer, however you want to do them is fine. I like to make about a 6-inch, but you know, a lot of times I end up hanging these off of another chain in my car, and they hang a little bit longer than some of my other ones, just because I've got so much stuff on my car mirror, it's crazy. But I like, and everything on there sparkles. I also have an urn hanging from my rear view mirror. My mother-in-law asked me before she passed away if I would put some of her ashes in a tiny urn and hang it from my car mirror so that she could go everywhere with me. And I did it. I promised her I would, and I did. So I have her going everywhere with me. And we have lots, we used to have so much fun driving around, and we would laugh and just get lost, and it was so fun. We just had a ball together. Oh, I did that backwards. Okay. I didn't want to hang that way. I wanted to turn it over and put this through the top. So we're just putting it through that second hole that I sort of drilled out a little bit bigger. And I actually made these chains a little bit longer than I needed to. I'm going to say 4 inches would be plenty. unless you want to hang it directly from your rear view mirror, in which case you'd want to make it longer. You know, if you want it to hang by itself. And these nails make it hard for me to get these in the clasp sometimes, because I can't see because the nail sticks out too far. Okay, there's one down. And then let's get this one, pop it through, and you can see how easily the ball chain goes through those holes now. If you don't do this, the holes are too narrow, and it's sometimes you can get it through, but it's difficult. It's not, it doesn't easily slide around, and you want it to be able to slide around. Okay, so now we'll get this one. And I buy my ball chain. I will put a link to the ball chain up for you as well. But here's the thing, when I bought my roll of ball chain, it did not come with the clasps. I was so upset that there were no clasps in there, so I had to buy clasps separately. So that's what I did, and I will put links to both, because the cost of these is not too bad, because I've been using this same roll of ball chain for quite some time, and I still have a decent amount left. And I think the clasps came with like 100 or maybe 200 clasps in here. It was a lot of clasps, and I still have a lot of those left too. So it was well worth what I paid for it, because you guys know how much I use this stuff. I use it like crazy. Now you can buy it in smaller amounts and spend a little less, but it's not going to last you as long. And if you get to where you're using it all the time, you're going to run out fairly quickly. So that is it, you guys. We are done with these two beautiful butterflies, and here's my original one. These are a little smaller, a little different, but equally as beautiful. Let's get this out from under there. I don't think that looks real pretty there. So there we go. We have three beautiful hanging butterflies, and they're all in black and white. So I think they look beautiful. I love them. I love these so much, and I've been making them for a while now, and I just thought today, since I was doing the black and white, that was a little different, and so I thought I'd make it with you guys. That was what I had on my mind, and I wanted to make a video, and so I thought, well, I'll just make a video on these. And so that's it, you guys. We have our butterflies done and ready to put in the shop. So by the time you see this video, I should have these all ready to go. This one's already in my shop, but I need to add these two. So that's it, you guys. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you will give this video a thumbs up and make a comment down below. How did you like these, and would you like to see more videos like this? And if you would, what kinds of things do you think I could make that would be different that you guys would enjoy seeing? So just let me know your thoughts, you guys. The bumblebees are my other thing, and I really want to make a video on doing these two beautiful bumblebees that I've already created and love. This one, I especially love it because the color is so vibrant, and it's just, it's amazing. And I would love to do this kind of in the same way I'm doing, or do some of these, I should say, in the same way. And I'm running out of my silver corners again. I just got some, but I've been using them like crazy. I got some in Happy Mail, and I've just used them so much. But to put one of my bumblebees on this, and these are smaller bumblebees than the other ones that I make, and way different, a little less realistic, I would say, but super pretty. I love them. So if I do something like that, maybe I could take and even do kind of a similar thing with the chain and have some of that hanging from from the bottom, like put it wing to wing, but make it hang a little longer so that the legs still show. Kind of like that. I think it'd be pretty. Or I could use something else to hang from it and just kind of pop something, you know, down here and let it hang from the middle. I could even take just a couple pieces of this. Although this I don't think would work so well for that because it won't bend very easily. But I've got a bunch of other things. I could even just take one piece and pop it at the bottom and just have that one little piece hanging from the tail. And actually I think that looks really pretty because these are smaller and they don't require as much to make them spectacular. So anyway, that's it, you guys. Thanks a lot. God bless each and every one of you, and stay safe, stay well, and, you know, just be kind to everybody. Have a wonderful life, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures. Bye-bye. God bless you all. Love ya.
Well, they tell me to stay out of the public eye. Eager to distance herself from Patrick, Aggie decides to meet with Mark outside of class.